Hey there, welcome to day 2877 of What You Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Today we're talking about, and I share in this segment, the good, the bad, the ugly, what's working, what's not working for me. Now, keep in mind, just because it works for me does not mean it'll work for you. Just because it doesn't work for me does not mean it won't work for you, which is why I share the things that I try, the things I attempt, but I kind of stink at first, and how I make my decision to either move forward and do something else, tweak it and do it again, or just change my mind and do something totally different. And then I share my thinking behind that so you can understand how I create the things that I create in my life. Well, today and this whole next 9 days, we are picking one of each of these areas of the 9-part life framework, and we're covering them and doing what I call a roundup on them. By that, I mean, we're looking at our objective numbers that we applied to it by rating and ranking. So for example, we're talking about contribution today. Beginning of the year, I ranked myself on, I rated myself on a scale of 1 to 10 of how I felt I was doing in that area. And then a day, I think it was one day right after the other, I prioritized 1 to 9. What were my first most important, second most important through 9? And contribution came up as number 1 at the beginning of the year, number 2 when I did it about a week ago. I rated it 7+ at the beginning of the year and 5 about a week ago. So I want to look at and analyze and say, okay, what does that mean? Why did I rate those things? Because I do this in isolation of the working on it. I do it at the beginning of the year, and then I do it at the end of the year. Why? Because I think I get a more objective picture in my rating and my rankings than if I were to do it one at a time throughout the year. And I do it again, and we look at it again the month that we focus on that particular area. So contribution we worked on in February. I really mixed up the way I do and normally share and teach the life framework. I usually go physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, contribution, communication, and confidence. Why? Because that's the way I learned them. That's the order I learned them in. And communication and confidence, I didn't even add to my life framework until 2020 and the pandemic, which I think was a great addition. It gives me a few more core skill areas to continually improve in, which positively impacts all the other areas and aspects of my life. So today we are, as part of the roundup, looking at those objective numbers and pulling some meaning out of that, some lessons learned, and then setting 3 intentions for next year that we want to, 3 things, and they don't have to be goals, but they're intentions in terms of the direction that we want to go. For me, in the area of contribution, for everybody else who's doing the challenge with me in the area of contribution. I did forget to share my card again today, so I'm going to quickly share it. It is, again, relationship deck from Esther and Jerry Hicks, and it says, I can focus on what I want in a relationship. I can focus on what I want in a relationship. I think yesterday we reminded ourselves that we have the ability to create unwanted relationships in our life by what we're thinking and what we're creating, because we're always creating, right? Everything we're thinking about is always either creating more of the same of what we've already got because our subconscious is running the show, or we are consciously choosing the things we want to focus on and pay attention to and look at. And that applies to our relationships just like every other area and aspect of our life. The ones from Louise Hay, Power Affirmations, or Power Thoughts, 365 Daily Affirmations. I am equally blessed with love, harmony, and joy. I take in life in perfect balance. I don't know if you've listened to me much, but I honestly, personally think balance is BS, and that it's determined, just like everything else, through our filters and what is right for us. I will admit there have been times in my life when I was so out of whack that it actually threatened my life. I was so out of whack that I ran around like a chicken with my head cut off. Now, I try not to do that very much anymore, but I'm sure I slip into it every once in a while as a reminder that that does not work for me. And our life is a journey about figuring out what works for us. The other one is, the ocean of life is lavish with its abundance. Golden opportunities are everywhere. And not everybody believes that, right? A lot of people think that we live in a finite universe and there's only so much to go around and that pie is only this big. I mean, look at different industries and professions. They are rampant with the scarcity and lack mentality, and they build that up to market you products and services that you probably don't even want, much less need. So working on that, working on my school community, doing a bunch of research and making massive changes in how I present that. I'm still me, no matter where I show up. Wherever you go, there you are, right? So if we're seeing something in our environment that we don't like, it's a mirror to us, and it's there to show us something. Maybe we're seeing a lot of really judgmental people. Guess what that means? You yourself are being judgmental. Now, you might not be judging anybody else, but you're probably judging yourself, and that's why you're seeing those things. At least that's how it's worked for me in my life. When I'm feeling and noticing a lot of people being mean or rude or critical or judgmental, I look in the mirror and I say, okay, what's going on? And usually I am beating myself up for something. Maybe I didn't do something in my business, or I didn't do something in my relationship that I wanted to do and I said I would do, and I just haven't gotten around to it. And that would be me reminding myself to get back on track, right? All right. That's all I got today. I've got a busy week ahead. If I can help you in any way, please ask. Otherwise, go out, make it an amazing day. It's Monday in my neck of the woods, and I think Mondays are awesome. I hope you do too. I like to grab the bull by the horns and make it an awesome week. All right. If I can help you anyway, ask. Otherwise, I will, of course, be with you tomorrow. Bye. Slow connection. Sometimes I get to just look at you and smile because I have a slow internet connection. Bye.